On the news this morning, Soludo urges youth to embrace skill acquisition programs. Anambra State Government arrests 26 suspects for touting illegal revenue collection in Onitsha. Others. European Union calls for improved security in Nigeria's maritime sector. As United States to open immigration processing center in Colombia and Guatemala. Hello, beautiful morning to you and welcome to Breakfast News at 8. I am David Obokwasile. Before the news in details, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. We begin in Oka here, where Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo says his administration will partner the federal government in skill acquisition programs to make the Anambras, especially the youth, self-reliant and job creators. Governor Soludo stated this during the empowerment and resettlement of skilled graduates in Oka North and South and Idemili North and South local government areas by the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment. Government House correspondent Emmanuel Konkwo tells us more.
At the events held at Skill Upgrading and Vocational Training Center in Alo, Idemili South Council Area, and Ministry of Labor and Employment Office in Oka, the beneficiaries were empowered and resettled, mostly in the field of irrigation, agriculture, recreational services, hospitality, and engineering, with startup equipment, including welding tools, generator sets, hairdressing equipment, and refrigerators, among others. Professor Soludo, who was represented by his deputy, Dr. Onyeka Bezim, described the gesture from the federal government as an act that is in line with the target of his government of training 5,000 persons in different skills and producing 1,000 millionaires yearly, assuring to do everything possible to ensure that the Anambra benefits immensely from the scheme. The governor asked the youths and other interested persons in the state to register under the ongoing skills acquisition programs, learn the skills perfectly, and help in training others to drastically reduce unemployment and criminality in the state.
The beauty of this program here is it cuts across all ages. Here we are not talking of political parties. No, we are talking of the people. Okay, and looking at the center, wonderful center, livable center, proximity to the roads, and I think we are set to go.
Speaking earlier, Senator Ngige reminded the youths on the need to acquire a skill or more in order to survive in the present economic situation of Nigeria, explaining that gone is the era where white-collar jobs are seen as best work to do. Senator Ngige said that the federal and state government will soon sign a memorandum of understanding on the skills acquisition training scheme to ensure that it is sustained.
Because seeing is believing. So they have seen and they know that we mean business. So we want to empower people to use their hands and empower themselves, give themselves job, upgrade themselves as an upgrading center, and then become entrepreneurs when they establish. That's why we are trying to encourage them by giving them what we call starter packs.
In their various speeches, the Director, Skills Development and Certification Department, Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment Headquarters, Engineer Tiza Shaka, and Controller, Anambra State Office of the Ministry, Mrs. Benedine Ojiobuehi, cautioned the beneficiaries against selling the equipment and listed provision of adequate security in and around the training centers, connecting of the centers to public power supply, mobilization of the trainees, and catering for their training needs, and day-to-day running of the skill acquisition centers across the state as issues that need urgent intervention by the government.
We also wish to employ all our beneficiaries of this program to maximally utilize this golden opportunity to better their lives, to achieve their desired objectives. Please don't sell these equipment. Don't sell this material out to anybody.
In Oka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo reporting for ABS News.
The Anambra State Boundary Committee With the Deputy Governor, Dr. Onyeka Bezim, as chairman, a release signed by the State Commissioner for Information, Sapol Nwosu, said members of the committee include the Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, Commissioner for Lands, Commissioner for Finance, Commissioner for Local Governments, Commissioner for Information, and Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning. Others are Surveyor General of the State, Chairman State Council of Traditional Rulers, Traditional Ruler of Umumbo representing Anambra North, Traditional Ruler of Ukulu representing Anambra Central, Traditional Ruler of Enugu Mwonya representing Anambra South, Anambra State Commissioner of Police, State Director of Department of State Services DSS, and the Controller of Immigration. Still from activities from the government house, the Deputy Governor of Anambra State, Dr. Onyeka Bezim, has called on youths in the state to shun violence and support the administration of Professor Chukwuma Soludo, which has great plans for them and the entire people of Anambra. Deputy Governor Bezim made the call in Onitsha while addressing youths in the area. Again, government house correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo tells us more.
Dr. Bezim, who said that youths in the state have a lot to benefit from the present government, reminded the youths of the need to desist from any act that can truncate the lofty plans of the government for them. The Deputy Governor asked them to join hands with Professor Chukwuma Soludo and his team to rebuild Anambra into a world-class state instead of fomenting trouble and vandalizing government properties. Asking them to register for the ongoing skills acquisition training in the state, Deputy Governor Bezim revealed that the state government will soon be giving soft loans to youth entrepreneurs in cooperative societies in the state to help them grow their businesses.
The committee, very soon, I'll choose Ebeni na Diocha in 1 million Diocha. More security on a governor. Then Colombia, Kita, 1 youth, 2 skills. Malone, Osiaga Nenye, loan abroad, the bank. Oya will be fee kucha in Nagachkweto Square 1. No government, Ghanaian interest-free loan. Unewelena Bambo, they train, form cooperatives, etua, a new nego. Nakuzife, Mandia Ghanaian outright empowerment. Nyonu Singwa, Akusichagolun, Welenia Bido.
Speaking at the event, Onitsha youth leader Mr. Ogbo Ogazi, on behalf of the youths, thanked the Deputy Governor on the visit and commended the leadership and performance of Professor Soludo-led administration, assuring that Onitsha youths are solidly behind his government and will always do the needful to assist in fast-tracking development in the area and the state in general.
Because no time we need to differ.
From Onitsha, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo reporting for ABS News.
Laying of asphalt on the 16.8-kilometer Ajale-Akpo Nofija-Ufumobunka Road is to commence in 15 days' time. The project engineer handling the project, Mr. Said Scarf, announced this while speaking to newsmen shortly after conducting them round the site. Works correspondent Ngozo Bleri, who monitored the pace of work on the road, reports that construction started on the road, which was a spur of about 9 kilometers in September 2022.
So far, about 3 kilometers and 200 meters have been primed, while laying of stone base has been completed on 3 kilometers and 600 meters of the road. The road will have 2 3x3 sizes of box culverts, 1 5x5 box culverts, and 2 1x2 sizes of box culverts. One of the box culverts has been completed, while casting of others were ongoing alongside drainage construction on parts of the road. Commenting on the project, Engineer Scarf said they are working day and night to meet the September deadline given to them, adding that they are receiving necessary cooperation and encouragement from the state governor, whom he said is wasting no time in providing all they need to fast-track the job.
We achieved up till now, let me say 5 kilo. It's ready for line drain, both side, and we have stabilization 3 kilo and 600 meter, and also we have applied stone base for 3 kilo and 200 meter, and we did grinding for 2 kilo.
The Transition Committee chairman for Orumba South Council area, Prince Neville Uchendo, who spoke to journalists at the site, expressed satisfaction with the quality of work going on at the sites, as according to him, the road will last more than 30 years after construction. Prince Neville added that the area is one of the food baskets of the state, and the road will give farmers in the area easy access to their various farms, noting that the road is a major shortcut to neighboring Abia and Imo states.
This road, as it touches all these 3 or 4 communities, those roads lead to most of their farmlands. This road is kind of a gateway to 2 major states, Imo and Abia State. So this road is very, very important.
Also speaking, head of engineers from Ministry of Work in charge of projects, Engineer Chidi Obiodu, said they are always at the site to ensure that nobody cuts corners, but stick to the specifications, even as he frowned at a machine mechanic workshop which spills grease on the primed road, which he said is serious threat to the lifespan of the road. From Ajale Apu Nofija Ufuma Obunka Road Project, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
Eva Bunker now to Onitsha, where the Anambra State government has arrested and paraded over 26 persons suspected for touting and illegal revenue collections in Onitsha, Obosi, and Mpo. The arrests, spearheaded by the Managing Director, Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra Auto Brigade, Comrade Celestina Anere, in conjunction with joint security agencies, is in continuation of the state government's efforts to rid the state of all kinds of criminal elements and to build a state that is investor friendly. We bring you the details.
Addressing the press during the parade, Comrade Aniere revealed that the drive is geared towards achieving a livable and prosperous state, hence the continuous raids on major flashpoints of the state and to decongest the roads. He also said the agency will not relent in ensuring free flow of water through the drainages across the state, especially now that the rains are here. The Ocha Brigade boss, who spoke through the image maker of the agency, Mr. Anthony Abuefuna, pointed out that the enforcement team apprehended the suspect where they were collecting tax from traders and motorists in Onitsha, Obosi, and Mpo metropolis, and assured that the law will take its full course.
Some of these vandals, they will continue trying to intimidate, engaging in 2 things: impersonation and also illegal collections, which is not acceptable. We are not doing the work of intimidation. Our main task and charge is to facilitate arrest of all those people who indulge in criminalities and hand them over to the legal authority.
Some of the suspects, Nonso Ogidi, Uchenna Johnson, and Matthew Mwale, denied the allegation leveled against them and narrated how they were arrested during their legitimate businesses and appealed to be released.
A driver cambo. Yes, ebu moto we puta mo na ogam na he bridge ndatima nda na yi udrakwa kuchia motai. So ime na kuchi mota hapuri ajebe na office. Na office aka no za kpoba m 20,000. Mwa anda ya gbaga akwụkwọ sorudo nke a na-agba 3,002. Nwe ego nji. Nyanwa na onwe anu we hasimu ngwa ritua ka eburu mota nsogam ngwa sobia. So right I can see where batana office mo amaho ihe bagwa ma mi ihe budana elo di moto.
West and Central African port security has stressed the need for an improved security measures in the country's maritime domain. EU said this in Lagos State during the closing ceremony of the WECAP's first mission training in Nigeria. This is coming weeks after the federal government, through the National Boundary Commission, got approval to extend its exclusive economic zones from 200 to 350 nautical miles. Speaking at the event, the team leader of WECAPS, Nico Vitogin, said the need to strengthen the security and safety of the West African and Central African ports cannot be overemphasized. He said it will help reduce vulnerabilities and risks, thereby increasing skills and vigilance. Vetogin pointed out that the perimeter fencing at the ports, installation of CCTVs, access badges, among others, were means of tightening the nation's port security. In business, the National Information Technology Development Agency has urged countries to support the development of international cyber norms and establish common grounds on cybersecurity issues. According to the agency, the first step towards promoting the development of international cyber norms is to increase awareness among stakeholders and educate them through conferences, seminars, workshops, and other awareness campaigns. The Director General of NIDA, Kachifu Inuwa, said this at the International Conference on Cyber Diplomacy organized by Cyber Diplomacy Center, Bucharest, Romania, to discuss the development and promotion of international and widely accepted cyber norms. Mr. Inuwa said that the ever-evolving landscape of technology and cybersecurity international diplomacy was another key aspect to promoting the development of international cyber norms. On the foreign scene, the United States will open immigration processing centers in Colombia and Guatemala and expedite the deportations of those seeking to irregularly enter the country as officials prepare for an increase in border crossings following the expiration of controversial COVID-era rule. Speaking, U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas and Secretary of State Antony Blinken announced the planned measures which they said were aimed at discouraging people from traveling to the U.S. border after the expected expiration of Title 42 on May 11. The controversial COVID-19 health policy implemented in March 2020 had allowed U.S. authorities to expel people who crossed the border irregularly without offering them the opportunity to seek asylum. Human rights monitors have charged at the measure violated international law. Immigration rights groups have both applauded and condemned portions of the latest measures, with some comparing their restrictions to those imposed under former U.S. President Donald Trump. Those expulsions will also apply to families crossing the border, he said. Those expelled would also be banned from re-entering the country for 5 years, unlike under Title 42, which did not prevent asylum seekers from attempting re-entry. The Nigerian Rugby League Association, NRLA, is set to kick off the 2023 league season in the month of May. The season will also see a new partner, Healing Blends Global, collaborating with the association on a 2-year partnership deal for the smooth running of the league. The 2023 championship will run in 2 regions with men's, women's, and youth competitions starting in May. The championship will be split into 2 conferences with Eco Trinity, Lagos Heaven, Lagos Rhinos, and RT Fineses playing in the Southern, and Kanu Lions, Kanu Gazelles, Zazao Bulls, and Zaria Bees facing off in the North. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Television. You can reach us on Instagram or Twitter at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. The main point, again, before we go, we told you that Governor Chukwuma Soludo has urged youth to embrace skill acquisition programs to become self-reliant. Anambra State government has arrested 26 suspects for touting illegal revenue collection in Onitsha, others. We also told you that the European Union has called for improved security in Nigeria's maritime sector as the United States is to open immigration processing center in Colombia and Guatemala. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's continue to give him maximum support for the task ahead. And that's the news this morning. Thanks for joining us. I am David Obokwasele. The Weekend Show continues right after now. Stay with us.
assumption of office, Mr. Governor Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo declared a state of emergency on roads in Anambra State. He has since turned the entire state into a construction site. Within 10 months in office, over 270 kilometers of road have been flagged off and contractors paid 30 to 50% upfront. More roads are also being constructed and they will be done with tax money. Please join hands with Mr. Governor to give us more smooth, slicky roads in Anambra State. Remember, better soup na money killer. Nnukwu ano kpata nnukwu nkwu, obele ano akpata obele nkwu. Please pay your tax as at when due. Maka Odemma, Anambra State. This message is from Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS.
Catch the excitement, fun and thrills on Jolly Jolly with Rume, your #1 pidgin television program, every Monday by 2 p.m. and Fridays by 5:30 p.m. on ABS TV channel 24. Relax and enjoy premium jollification all the way.
God is living in me. He's living in